Hello. In the next few minutes, at a high level, I'm going to share with you the story of the renaissance of the Campbell Soup Company. It is a story of a decade of adversity and triumph, a story of men and women banding together to do extraordinary things in an integrity-laden way. Extraordinary things in the workplace, in the marketplace, and in the broader community. It is also an unfinished story with a new chapter imminent. This past October, I announced my retirement as CEO at the end of our fiscal year, July 31st, 2011. We also simultaneously announced the promotion of Denise Morrison to Chief Operating Officer, with our expectation that she will replace me as CEO upon my retirement. Denise and her leadership team have been integral to the renaissance of the Campbell Soup Company over the past 10 years, and they are well positioned to help the company navigate the most challenging economic environment since the Great Depression. For the last decade, I've been privileged to lead this great company forward, and I've seen firsthand the amazing power of our people and our brands. I have every confidence that our new team under Denise's leadership will rise to meet the threats of a difficult economy and a fierce competitive environment to ensure the Campbell Soup Company continues to prosper in the days ahead. To better appreciate both the progress and the potential of our company, let's take a step back in time. After having a solid value creation run in the mid-1990s, from 1997 to 2000, the Campbell Soup Company struggled to perform and lost half of its market value in the year 2000 alone. There were issues on many fronts. The portfolio was disadvantaged relative to many peer companies. In particular, the signature business of the company, the U.S. soup business, was in disarray and being compared to a buggy whip by one of the leading industry analysts. Virtually all of the other businesses were struggling as well. An aggressive wave of pricing had created untenable price gaps versus key competitors, including private label. An equally aggressive wave of cost-cutting had also ensued to a point where in some product lines, product quality had been lessened. As earnings pressure continued to mount, consumer advertising and marketing spending, the lifeblood of a consumer products company, had been cut to help deliver short-term earnings targets. Simultaneously, R&D investment was curtailed and innovation funding was significantly scaled back. Not surprisingly, on top of all this, the company experienced several waves of layoffs, leaving every employee to question their future with the company. In January of 2001, I was hired as the 11th CEO of the company in its 130-year history. My job was to stop the bleeding, stabilize the situation, and get the company back on its feet. Over the next 10 years, we did just that. I say we because it took the fierce resolve of all 20,000 employees working shoulder to shoulder to get the job done. Together, we cleaned up the portfolio, shedding our disadvantaged assets. We got our U.S. soup business growing again. We revitalized our other core businesses, particularly healthy beverages with V8 and baked snacks with Pepperidge Farm in North America and Arnott's in Asia Pacific. We more effectively managed our price gaps and began to grow market share in key areas of focus. We improved product quality across the board while maintaining an aggressive cost management profile. We ramped up innovation in a quality way. We restored consumer advertising and marketing spending to competitive levels. We put the company on solid financial footing, and we built a culture of employee engagement that is, in my opinion, second to none. To do this heavy lifting, we brought a performance-based mindset to the work that was anchored in the concept of being tough-minded with standards and tender-hearted with people. Ultimately, we built something we call the Campbell Success Model to guide our corporate transformation efforts. The Campbell Success Model has 4 interlocking components: winning in the workplace, winning in the marketplace, winning in the community, and winning with integrity. Together, we made extraordinary progress synergistically across all 4 components. Let me start with winning in the workplace, which I believe is foundational to the idea of having a high-performance company. In this very competitive world, you simply must have talented people who are highly engaged in their work if you are to have any chance of winning in the marketplace. To win in the workplace, we undertook a comprehensive culture-building program that runs wide and deep in our company today. I'll highlight 3 aspects of that effort. First, very early on, we created something we called the Campbell Promise. Campbell valuing people, and people valuing Campbell. With this promise, we committed the company to tangibly demonstrating that we valued each employee's life journey. We also said, at the same time, that we trusted that our employees would increasingly value and help advance our corporate agenda as we began to deliver on our promises to them. Over the past decade, we have made great progress. We have carefully listened to our employees' input across the board. They have identified better ways to serve our consumers, our customers, and each other. Along the way, we've built a collegial and supportive environment that is committed to honoring each employee. We've upgraded our facilities to ensure that our employees have world-class tools to do world-class work. We've significantly improved all of our human resource and performance management practices, from recruiting to goal setting to feedback to training and development to career development and rewards and recognition. We have built a rich and diverse culture of inclusion that is increasingly flexible and resourceful. Bottom line, we have built a company that cares about performance and cares about people, a company that is committed to honoring the Campbell promise. The second aspect of our culture-building effort that is worth highlighting is our staffing of leadership positions. As we undertook this effort, we recognized that we needed highly competent, tough-minded, and tender-hearted leaders to set a new course for the company, a course that ultimately every employee could buy into. To that end, in the first 3 years, we turned over roughly 300 of our top 350 leaders. Fortunately, we were able to promote 150 key leaders from within. At the same time, however, we also recruited into the company 150 of the best and brightest leaders in the consumer products industry. This was a massive change effort. Third and finally, every year we began to focus the organization on a set of Gallup metrics for employee engagement. This effort was inspired by the notion that you can't manage what you can't measure. We were determined to build a better culture, and we were determined to hold each other clearly accountable for our progress. The Gallup organization is generally recognized as a world expert on employee engagement. Through millions of employee surveys around the world over many years, Gallup has created a very compelling case that higher employee engagement in an enterprise can lead to a higher level of value creation. In this case, the gold standard is an engagement ratio of 12-1. Meaning that, broadly speaking, you need to have 12 employees who are enthusiastic about their work for every one who is disenchanted. As you can see, we started off with an engagement ratio of roughly 2-1, and today we are operating well above the world-class benchmark of 12-1, with a 17-1 engagement ratio in our last survey. We are extremely proud of this performance. Interestingly, while we made the massive leadership changes I referred to a few minutes ago, employee engagement rose each year, indicating we were on the right track. As a byproduct of all this work, we've been recognized as a best place to work, and we've been recognized on several fronts for our progress with diversity and inclusion. We're extremely proud of this recognition as it further validates our efforts. In particular, just last year we received the prestigious Catalyst Award that recognized superior performance in the development and advancement of women. Clearly, although there is always more to do, we are winning in the workplace. Winning in the community is also important. We believe that to continue to attract and retain a world-class workforce, we need to create opportunities for people to live their values through their work. To that end, we're committed to advancing our social responsibility efforts on multiple fronts and to being recognized as one of the most socially responsible corporations based in the United States. I am proud to say that we have achieved that goal for 3 years running. We're also committed to operating on all levels with integrity, and we've been recognized as a leader in ethical behavior. Turning now to winning in the marketplace, our focus on the 3 core categories of simple meals where we are heavily anchored in soup, baked snacks where we are heavily anchored in cookies and crackers, and healthy beverages where we are heavily anchored in vegetable-based beverages has proved to be a great asset. We remain the #1 soup manufacturer in the world. We have now built the #3 cookie and cracker company in the world. We have established Goldfish as the #1 children's cracker in the world. We have established V8 as the #1 vegetable juice brand in the world. In the U.S. alone, 94% of households have at least one Campbell product. Our soup business alone is in 85% of U.S. households with an average of over 6 units in every pantry, making it, in my opinion, the most pervasive food brand in the United States. Overall, this profile has enabled us to deliver solid financial results for many years now. Over the past 6 financial years, since the completion of our 3-year transformation plan, our cumulative total return to shareholders of 64% has been almost twice that of our peer group and nearly 5 times that of the S&P 500. Thanks to outstanding work on our overall cost position, especially across the supply chain, we improved EBIT margins 2 full points to 17.7% last year. This is top quartile in the food industry. 5-year adjusted EBIT performance has been consistently strong overall, reaching a record $1.36 billion last year, up more than $300 million over the period. Similarly, we have increased our adjusted EPS every year to $2.47 last year, equivalent to a 5-year growth rate of 10%. Then, too, our cash flow from operations has continued to be very strong, averaging nearly $1 billion a year for the last 6 years. Finally, as a last measure of our strong financial performance, I'd highlight our return on invested capital of 27.8%, nearly 5 points above the level in 2005. This is also a top quartile food industry level. All in all, we have clearly put the company in a position to thrive in the years ahead. We have demonstrated that we have the capacity to win in the workplace, win in the marketplace, win in the community, and win with integrity, and to win on all of these fronts simultaneously in a convincing fashion. Over the past 10 years, I have been so honored to be associated with the people of the Campbell Soup Company. They amaze me. They think clearly, work hard, honor each other, and they always rise to the challenges of the day. They do all of this with a twinkle in their eye, a spring in their step, and a supportive hand extended to those who need help. I can hardly wait to see what they do next. Well, there you have it in a nutshell, the story of the renaissance of the Campbell Soup Company, a story of adversity and triumph, and a story of people doing extraordinary things everywhere, every day.